Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a Voice of Truth podcast. I am your host, Elisa, and I had to take just a minute to myself. I took the day off yesterday. I had to, and my tarot cards were telling me you are resisting rest. You are resisting a much needed time of rest. Just go rest. And yesterday I felt like absolute dog shit. I'm not gonna even lie. But I went out and had some time in the park today. I had to get grounded. I had to clear my head a little bit. I had to do something because that mental exhaustion and that physical exhaustion, just my mind, everything was compounding together and it was creating a problem. And now I feel so much better. And I'm probably going to go outside again later. So, yeah, I'm wearing no sleeve shirt and I don't know why, but my lips have been so dry and chapped and yeah, it's just crazy. So, I have a spot here. It's been sore and everything like that because they've been flaking for some crazy reason. Even though with all the chapstick I use, yeah, it's just a mess. But anyway, I wanted to talk when about a little bit more on embodiment, and let's go ahead and get into that because I noticed that even before this recent shift, because I know that there's been a shift or we're in the middle of a shift. Something's been going on. But anyway, that energy threw me for a loop. I mean, seriously, the last video that I made, that energy was so beyond weird. I ended up falling into that energy hard last night. I mean, really hard. I was one with myself. I was seeing old perspectives. I was seeing people from the past because when you dive into yourself, what you're doing is you are taking a hard look at yourself in the mirror. And you're going to have so many moments of this when you are awakening spiritually. Even if it's a Kundalini awakening, whatever it is, you're going to have to you have to have your own time. You have to spend time with yourself and get one with yourself. When you feel off, I highly encourage my listeners, my followers, my subscribers, whoever it is, wherever you're watching this, I highly recommend that you go outside, you ground, you go for a walk, you get your body moving, you think about what's going on, you reflect on it, and don't just take no 5 minutes. Don't take 5 minutes a day, take more than that. Even if you're going on a 15-minute walk, get your body moving, go outside, get some fresh air, get in the sun, get some sun because it does actually help. It is not an overrated practice. It's an old, ancient practice, and it's been a practice, a traditional thing for a reason. It's tradition for a reason. It's a traditional, excuse me, insight for a reason. I've been having some throat issues lately, so excuse me. But there's a reason why we say get grounded. There is a very good reason. We need to come back into alignment, get ourselves right, because sometimes we can get too much in our heads. Sometimes we get too stuck and we have to get out of our environment, get out of the four walls, wherever it is, even if you work in an office, whatever the situation is, I highly recommend people get outside for a minute, soak up some sun, get some air, whatever you got to do. Go out to the pool, spend some time with yourself because there is such a thing as pushing yourself too hard. Even if you're not working and you're doing a lot of spiritual work, I am encouraging my community to go outside for a while, sit in the sun, put your phone down, whatever. Just be one with yourself and nature. Get grounded because my head was just swimming with all kinds of thoughts and emotions, and I had to come to the realization that what it is it's like a layer of an old identity is beginning to shed. And in order to shed, and when you're going through a transition and you're feeling those emotions, okay, be one with those emotions. Be one and realize, I know you're there. I am here to find out why. Why are you here? Why are you making yourself known? Because sometimes our negative emotions can actually be stemming from an old identity or an old version of yourself, and you don't even realize it. My dreams have been trying to warn me about that, and I wasn't realizing it. And I noticed it last night, and then I noticed it again when I was outside, and I thought, holy shit, this is what's going on. This is what is happening. And if you're feeling called or led to go on a fast and only drink water, then do it, but do it safely. You know, do it safely. Do it for a couple of days, because that gets toxins out of your body. That is flushing your system and getting these toxins out of our bodies. Go outside, be one with nature, meditate, whatever you got to do. But it is very important that you spend some time, even if it's 15 minutes a day or if it's 15 minutes at a time, do it. Your mind, your body is going to thank you. So, anyway, when you're embodying a new version of yourself, you will go through shifts, major shifts, and you realize it, but you don't quite understand it. And me and my boyfriend have been having this conversation for the last 48 hours, how weird things are changing. And look, he is not spiritual. I am, but he is not. He is not spiritual. He doesn't follow in with it, but he's supportive of my decision. We've been together for so many years, but he is supportive of the route that I take, as long as it's not harming me at the same time. If it's not hurting us at the same time, everything's all good. I've come so far. We've had this conversation about how far both of us have come, and we have how far, not only I have come, but he has been. I realized last night that he's been moving the same with me, even though that he is not spiritual. You're gonna know, because I know that there are other spiritual people out there that are with others that are not, that have a partner that is not awakened or enlightened or whatever the case is. It's okay, as long as y'all are able, because I'm going to tell you something. The energy that you begin to embody, your partner, a good partner, is going to start meeting you and kind of following you in the same trajectory. And although it takes them a little longer, they will come with you, believe it or not. And he's actually been following where I am going. When we talked about it, we got down to nitty gritty stuff, because you know how relationships are. I mean, if you don't communicate, you're not going to get anywhere. Both parties have to put an equal exchange of energy. Don't fight against each other. Just talk, just communicate. And when we did that last night, it was weird, because I realized he had told me yesterday that he's been at this job for a very long time, at this particular job for about 8 years. And I believe next year in January is going to be 9. And he had told me that he went to work, and I was encouraging him to leave his job. I was encouraging him to get out of that place, due to the morale at that place, due to all the hard work and the hours and all of these things. I am seeing it reflect on him. It's showing on the physical. And I told him, I said, I'm seeing the wear and tear on your body. And you're getting to a point in your life where you need a change. You need to do something different. And there are a lot of other jobs out there. There's so many other jobs out there that you can try. And there's a good age gap between us. I want y'all to understand that. There's a decent age gap in between us. There's like a 13-year age gap. So he's in his 40s. And so I told him, I said, I am seeing the wear and tear. It's time that you take care of yourself. We will be taken care of no matter what, because even though that this job pays well, even though that he has good benefits, it doesn't matter. If your morale and your physical are feeling the brunt of it, it's time to look for a change, especially if the people at your work do not value you. And I told him, I said, it's time to let go. This isn't a relationship. At the end of the day, business is business, and that's it. If you got a good job, good benefits, good hours, all of that, then stay. But if the morale of the place is going down the shithole, don't worry about it. It doesn't. There is no amount of money, no amount of benefits that is worth your peace. Okay, no amount. If it costs you your peace, it is way too expensive. And I told him, I said, it is not only costing you your peace, but it's costing me my peace. Excuse me, my peace. Because I am concerned about your physical and mental well-being. It is not okay to be in that state, and then it begins to wear on you, not just mental, but also emotional. And it begins to weigh on the relationship because you are so tired. You're just out of it. No job is worth that. No job is worth that. At the end of the day, business is business. So I told him, let it go. I had to get mad at him because he's very stubborn, just like I am. And I had to say that this is not a relationship, this is business. And if the business is no longer aligning with you, because it is not aligning with you, but it's time to leave. I said, because I need you out of there. I need you out of there. You're bringing me down, man. Like not in a bad way. I really do care about him. I love him. I worry about his well-being. And I told him, just get out of there. So when we had that conversation that turned into an argument and turned into a fight, he told me, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. And he went to work the next day, and he said it was so weird, but he only told maybe 2 people that he trusts the utmost. And those 2 people are the only ones that know that he's leaving. But everybody else, because everybody else was always talking to him and laughing with him and everything like that. He said it was weird because all of a sudden their reactions to him started to change. It was out of the blue, out of left field somewhere. Understand, he was at work the day before, but he goes back to work after our conversation, and he says everybody was acting weird except for the 2 that he told he was leaving. And it was very strange. When he told me that, I was like, oh, yeah, I don't need to know how your job works. I don't need to know about that. It's not that I need to know about that. It's just I understand how people, what it's like when you're shifting. Because it took me forever to find out what this whole shifting ordeal was all about. It took me until I guess last year toward the end of to learn about shifts, or it was the beginning of this year, something like that. But anyway, point is that I understand what it's like to start shifting and people start looking at you like you're insane or like you're weird or something's off or whatever. You're shifting. And I told them, I think you are shifting with me. When you start embodying a new version of yourself, it's the craziest thing. People, because you come out of alignment with those old people, you come out of alignment with that old version of yourself. And the people that knew the old version of you They don't follow you. They don't. If you're not aligning with somebody, or that if that new version isn't aligning with you, they stay the fuck behind. They don't follow you. They don't understand you anymore. It's like you're talking gibberish when you're talking to them and they're looking at you weird. It's not you. I mean, it's you, but it's not you. You're shifting. You're moving along with whatever route it is that you're supposed to take with the new version of yourself. You are shifting. And that's completely and totally normal. And it's hilarious because the people that are negative, the people that don't understand what you understand, the people that don't align with you, those people, I've seen it myself, they will run. When you come around the corner, guys, I have been in malls. Okay? I'm talking about, I guess it started at the end of last year. I was walking through a mall and a couple of people saw me and they turned around, they ran. This one guy, I went to Walmart with my boyfriend. We were looking for, I think, another Keurig because the other one was getting old and falling apart. So we went into the aisle of Walmart where the Keurig machines were. And it was hysterical because, and it was also kind of sad because there was this young man and his girlfriend, standing there talking. He sees me and he turns around and takes off and leaves her. And I'm not a dangerous individual, but the thing is that I am dangerous to who they are. You know what I mean? Like a version of them that is not on my level, it freaks them out. And it was hilarious because he saw me and he takes off. Don't take it personally when that happens. I was actually amused by it when it happened because I started to understand I'm not the same person anymore. I started awakening more and more to myself. I would probably say that I began a Kundalini awakening back in 2024 at some point. Do I know when exactly it was? No. I just remember that my appetite started changing, and I remembered that I was getting weird jolts and I was getting weird shocks in my system, and I was waking up with just crazy feelings, and it was just bizarre. Super bizarre. I had no idea what was happening. I went to the doctor, I don't know how many times, asking what was wrong, and not one single thing was wrong with me. Nothing new, nothing concerning, nothing at all. And I started thinking, okay, there's got to be something wrong with me. But it made a lot of sense because when I started finding my community, when I began to find people that were aligning to me, and this didn't happen until the end of last year, which was 2025. But when I started finding people, my real community, the people that I really aligned with, this version of who I am now, they it's like some of them were dealing with the Kundalini as well. And they were able to validate a lot of these crazy things, a lot of these crazy symptoms that I was dealing with. In the beginning of 2025, I had some crazy stuff happening, and I was getting infusions for my illness and all of these things. And that's the weirdest thing because I was getting infusions for a couple of months there in 2024, and I was doing really well. There were biological infusions, and I was doing very, very well. But then all of a sudden, I started having some very strange symptoms. And ever since then, I have not done it. Now, I'm not telling anybody to stop anything. I'm just telling you, listen to your body. Listen to your body, because if your body is telling you that it is suffering because of A, B, and C, you need to listen. You need to listen to that because it is warning you that something is not right. And something obviously was not right because my body began to react. It started to inflame when the biologics are actually supposed to help with the inflammation, with whatever autoimmune disease that you were diagnosed with. It's supposed to help with that said inflammation. but it was making things really bad, making extra inflammation all over me. And it was putting me in such a weird position. I was having a hard time moving my body. It's like my whole body went into traction. And I have to say that I know for a fact if it wasn't at the beginning of 2024 when my Kundalini started, then it was at the very end of it. It was right at the tail end of 2024 when my body began to react to these biological infusions. Again, I am not telling anybody to stop nothing. That is not my place. That is your decision. That is entirely up to you. If that's what you decide for yourself, that's what you decide for yourself. I will never tell anybody or give anyone any medical advice. That is not my place. That is your decision. But what I am saying is it's very important that you listen to your body. If your body just ain't feeling right, you need to listen to that. Take a rest. Take some time to yourself. Go lay down. Go sit outside for a while. Something. Take a break because your mind needs that. Your mind needs to go outside and breathe some fresh air because being in four walls will drive you insane. And to imagine, because I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis years ago. And this disease or whatever you want to call it because it's like I don't even have it anymore. I'm not even kidding you. You embody a new version when you want healing. You embody it. You don't think, oh, one day. No, 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 no. Go back to my embodiment versus excuses video and watch that because I explain it all. So anyway, when you, what was I saying? I was talking about the ulcerative colitis, right? I was diagnosed with that. And then all of a sudden, it's like my body began to change. And certain foods were beginning to do something weird to my body. It was causing a bad reaction. It was causing all kinds of things. And so I had to start listening to that. And I started disliking the way my diet was. And guys, my diet used to be really high in sugar, which is, if you have that type of diagnosis, that's not good either way. That is not good either way. That sugar actually increases inflammation in the body. So something was just wrong. And I had to start looking at my diet. I had to start looking at what I consumed on a daily basis. And that's when I found that I was addicted to a substance called kratom. Okay, that's when it was. That was the time that I had discovered that I had an addiction to kratom. I tried to go without it because I thought, okay, I don't need this anymore. The pain's not bad anymore. I'm not having all the trips to the bathroom anymore. I don't need it. When I was trying to get off of it, because I decided, well, I ran out. I'm not going to buy anymore. And I was only on powder, guys. I was like, you know what? I'm done. At the end of that day, about 9 p.m., I started feeling very, very sick. And I thought, holy shit, these are withdrawal symptoms. I need to get myself some stash. I need to get more. And we went over, got some more, and the guy that was behind the counter, we were good friends for a little while. And he looked at me, he said, "You okay?" I said, "Yeah, why?" He said, "Your face is really red right now." I said, "Yeah, I'm really tired," or something like that. I was lying. I was straight up lying, and he knew it, and I knew it. And so he gives me the bag. I was like, "Great." I go in the car and I take it, and then I'm like, okay, by the time I get home, I should start feeling better if it's what I think it is. When I got home, that's exactly what it was. By the time I got home, I was feeling better. My symptoms were starting to go away. My headache was starting to go away. My stomach aches were starting to go away. All of those things, because it was a different type of ache. It wasn't in the lower abdomen like it always was. It was a different type of ache. This was a very strange ache. I don't know. And the sweating stopped. All of the withdrawal symptoms came to an end. And I realized it. I said, "Oh shit." And I told my boyfriend, I said, "Babe, I'm addicted to this." And he goes, "Yeah, I was worried about that." And I said, "Really?" He said, "With all the times that you take it now, day in, day out, the amount of times that you take it and all of this stuff," he was like, "Trust me, I knew that there was at least a codependency." And so I started looking into it, about the long term effects that it has on the body, and I was finding more and more and more stories, horrific stories of people losing their lives from this stuff. I mean, just nothing, no signs, no symptoms of any kind, just boom, dead. And they're young, in their 20s and their 30s. Their moms are telling this story. And I thought, oh my God. And so, guys, I used to have bad skin. I used to have horrific skin. And I'm sure that a lot of it was from the kratom usage in general. But the thing is that when I started getting off of it, my skin wasn't really getting any better. I wanted to look better. And so I went to a dermatologist and they fixed me right up. I had rosacea, I had eczema, but the creams and everything that the doctor gave me went away, cleared it up really fast. And find a good dermatologist, because I'm going to tell you right now, the one I have, oh, he is absolutely amazing. He is wonderful, and I'm so grateful that I got my skin back. But anyway, it took a lot more than that. I didn't realize this until the end of 2025 that I quit drinking. I didn't realize that it just kind of fell away. It was the strangest thing. Like, my desire to drink went away. Once in a blue moon, I'll see an alcoholic beverage that looks really good. And I'll think, ooh, that looks good. But I don't bother with it because of the way it makes my body feel. It gives me like this weird clammy feeling and the sweats, and I having a little buzz even bothers me. I can't do it anymore. I don't I used to love drinking. I'm not gonna lie. I used to love drinking. It was my thing. It was mine and my boyfriend's thing. There was once upon a time that we would get real fucked up. We used to, and I would drink like a fish. I mean, I was big into that shit. But now I can't do it. My body does not handle it well anymore. I'm only 33 years old. So, and he's got about 13 years on me. Go figure. And I was a smoker for about 14 and a half years. Got off. That was probably the one of the easiest things I was able to put aside. And I know I've mentioned this in one of my videos at least once or twice. I mentioned this in the past, talking about how to get away from a substance. And I'm going to tell you, the worst one was kratom. Kratom put my mind, oh my God, it put me in such a bad place, a really, really bad place. And it was emotional tides. That's what I called them. I called them emotional tides because that's essentially what it was. And it was like, it's like I was feeling okay. And tapering works, because the detox comes and then it's gone. Anyway, those are that is for those that are considering quitting their substance abuse. If you're on kratom and you're considering it, I'm telling you right now, it is totally worth it. You won't have to pay any more money for it. And so what happened was, getting off of it, it takes a while for your brain to relearn the balance, because your body it finds a balance, it finds a particular type of happiness when you're on a substance of any kind, really. When you get off of it, you really want to get off of it, you will make it happen. And if you fail once, you can try again. Keep trying. Don't give up. Keep trying because it is possible. And it was rough. I would start crying for no reason. I tapered for about 2 weeks until I was only taking not even a tip bit of the spoon anymore. I mean, I thought, well, this is stupid. What am I taking it for now? And I was on it for just that amount for just a couple of days. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. And so I ended up coming here. This was before I moved in. So I came here and I ended up detoxing here. That night after I got here, I was outside smoking a cigarette. This was last year when I was still smoking. And all of a sudden I started to sweat, just profuse sweat, drenched in sweat. And I began to get anxious. And then I began to start feeling like shakes and pains and everything of that nature all over me. It was horrible. It's horrible. But when it's over, it's over. For me, it only took a few hours. It didn't take long because I tapered for about 2 weeks. It's when you start lowering the amount of how much you take. And take your time. It doesn't have to be a few weeks. It could be however long you want. Just start working toward a better version of yourself. Change at first seems very daunting. When you find your comfort zone, you don't want to move. You don't want to budge, but your comfort zone is actually an illusion. Your comfort zone blinds you from what you can really truly do because human beings, I said this before, human beings are a lot more powerful than what any religion, clergyman, whatever, will ever tell you. We are so much more capable. But as I had said before, you need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. There is a video that I was listening to anytime that I felt down in the dumps emotionally because the detox was done within a few hours. After that, it was the brain having to relearn balance on its own, having to relearn how to live life without that substance. And you go through these emotional tides. I cried all the time. Then I was anxious. Then I found, something that would motivate me into feeling better, and watching the Rocky movies actually helped. Listening to Rocky music got me through one of the worst times of my life. I'm not even kidding. Listen to Going the Distance from the Rocky soundtrack. I'm not even kidding you. It actually helped get my mind where it needs to be. And it was a lot for my mom to handle because I was living with her at the time. It was a hell of a lot for her to handle. But I thought she did really well helping me get through that phase because she would ride the waves with me. She did. She rode the waves with me, and she would tell me, you know, your determination is absolutely wonderful. Like she would give me encouragement sometimes, guys, and it's very important that even if you don't have somebody there, I'm going to give you encouragement right now. I am encouraging you guys, whoever might be on it, and if you want to get off of it, get off of it. That's your body telling you it is time to remove this old energy and transition into your new version. It is time for a change. But in order to do that, you got to let go of that last version of yourself because you cannot take her or him with you. You cannot. It's done. It's over. And those vices have got to go. If that's what your body's telling you, or if that's what you are feeling in your heart space and in your head, if that's what it's telling you, it's time to do it. And trust me, there are signals that your body gives you when it's time to let it go. But the Rocky music, the Rocky movies, all of those things helped a lot. There's a speaker, excuse me. There's a motivational speaker named Billy Allsbrooks, and I think it's Warrior Motivation. I highly suggest that. In fact, I'll probably link it on the bottom of my video. I highly suggest watching that because, guys, it got me through one of the worst times. Through the detox, through the withdrawal, I listened to this video and it's telling you you need to feel comfortable with being uncomfortable. When you're needing somebody, in times of trouble, because I mean you'll be there. He says this a certain way, but you'll be there for them, but they won't be there for you. They'll leave you high and dry in the dust. They'll take off, and then you're on your own. You're on your own, but it's actually a good thing. It's a blessing in disguise. Take that opportunity to be alone and be one with yourself. Find find that new version of yourself. It's going to take a lot of crawling. Okay? It's more than crawling. This is metaphorical, but it takes a lot of patience. A lot of patience. It takes a hell of a lot of patience. It takes a lot of determination. It takes a very strong willpower, yes. But what really helps in that meantime, while you're going through the worst emotional tides, and even in rehabs, because I used to work at rehabs all the time, even in rehabs, they encourage people that are going through their worst times to ride the wave. They will talk to them and they'll say, hey, it's not worth it. I know what you're going through, man, or miss, or whoever. I know what you're going through. It's not worth it. You don't want to leave, because they would come to the window begging to leave, and we had to talk them through it because they were going through withdrawal. Their brains were having to rewire itself and find the happy balance. It will come. It might take a few months. It took me about a month and a half, maybe a little longer, but not much longer. It will be fine. You will be fine. Find a support group on Facebook if you have to. That's what I did. I found a support group for kratom quitters or something like that. I haven't seen that group in a while. I don't know what happened to that group, but the thing is that you will hear some crazy stories. Some of y'all think that you can't get addicted to the kratom powder. Yes, you can. It's like somebody saying you can't get addicted to opioids. We all know that's not true. We all know that's not true. And addicts are the biggest ones that will say that there's nothing wrong with it. I said what I said. Addicts are the ones, because I did it. Addicts are the biggest ones that will say there's nothing wrong with it. Doesn't matter if it's 7-0, doesn't matter if it's kratom. That's what it is. But the thing is, 7-0 is a very potent extract of kratom. It's extremely potent. It's essentially the street alternative to methadone. It's that strong. I never knew anything about 7-0. It's a good thing. I knew nothing about 7-0, but you know what it was? That support group told me about 7-0. I thought it was a typo. I really thought it was a typo. But I asked somebody, I said, what is 7-0? And they explained it to me. They said, oh, it's this, oh, it's that. And I was like, why is this being sold everywhere? It's being sold in gas stations. I'm in Texas, and it's still being sold in gas stations. And I'm thinking, okay, you're going to ban THC, but you're whatever. Whatever. You need to get your priorities straight. It would piss me off, but I'm seeing that they're starting to ban kratom itself, and it might be for the better, but that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. It gets better. What helps is community. What helps is being able to replace what it with whatever you can. And if you're having trouble, talk to somebody. Talk to somebody that's close to you. Whatever. Listen to the Rocky music. Listen to or watch the Rocky films. They are so inspiring. They are incredibly inspiring. My favorite one is the third Rocky movie. That's my favorite one. That is it has one of the best fight scenes in the world I've ever seen. And the motivation that it gave me, oh my god, it is unbelievable. It is like transcendental almost. It is just, I'm sorry, like tears are coming to my eyes how incredibly awe-inspiring it is. And you guys, you go through hell. I'm remembering a lot. It's hard. It's very hard. It's not easy, but it can be done. You have to want it really bad. You have to want it. Again, it's not only determination, it's not only willpower, or actually that's the same thing, I'm sorry, but mental state, but it's also replacement. Replace it with something. Even if you have to clean the house, clean the house. I did that a lot. When I felt anxious, I got out of the house for a while. I took a walk somewhere. I got out. I did something. If you're crying, cry it out, but cry it out somewhere in a safe spot, in a safe zone, if you will. Find a place to do it. There's nothing wrong with it. It took me a month and a half to finally even out. And when I finally found it, when I finally got there, boom, done. And it never came back. The smoking, I replaced it. I replaced it with a new skill by picking up tarot. And no, I'm not going to start doing any of that right now. If I feel led to do that, then I'll let y'all know. But as of right now, I'm not doing that. There's plenty of tarot readers out there. In fact, I can guarantee one that's really good. Well, I vibe with him. And I've talked to him before. And I found him on TikTok, believe it or not. Chandler Maston, I believe. He is very wonderful. He's a very, very good tarot reader. A very good psychic. I'm not even kidding you. A lot of the stuff that he talks about and whatever, a lot of the messages that he channels, all of the cards that he pulls, I mean, I align with him, and I highly recommend him. He is absolutely wonderful. But anyway, um, I finally got there after a lot of willpower, after a lot of pushing. You gotta push. You have to be even harder than the urges, than the desire to take it. You have to be strong, and it's going to expand who you are. Getting off of that, you think that you're high vibrational, but you're not. It's actually quite the opposite. I had to get off of it to see it clear. When you're too close to a situation, you cannot see clear at all. Your vision is all fucked up. You cannot see it. I'm just saying, you cannot see what you are really looking at until you take steps back more and more and more, and then you see, oh my God, there's a big picture behind this wall. And I'm standing at the wall like this, like a moron, looking like an idiot. That was my rhetoric, guys. That was my rhetoric at the time. I'm like, oh my God, I'm sitting like this, looking like a moron in front of a wall. So just, yeah, I highly encourage people to get off of this stuff. It's sorry. I have to laugh at myself. But anyway, things get better. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. And as I was saying, it took some time, but my body adapted without. And the weirdest thing was quitting smoking. That was the easiest thing for me to do. Consciously being aware of it. Yeah. because the drinking just fell away on its own. I didn't even pay attention to it, but it does have a major effect on you. Doesn't seem like it, but these vices, if your body is telling you, I'm not liking this, you got to listen to that. It's very important, because what it is a new version of yourself is coming up. It's coming from underneath the surface. It's growing, it's birthing, and you got to listen to it. You've got to listen to it, because imagine what you can do by learning strength of character, because this builds your character. This strengthens your character, it strengthens your backbone, makes you tough. And not to sound cliche, but whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It's true. Okay, so yeah, I know how cliche it is, but it's a fact. I'm hardcore encouraging you guys. If you're feeling like it's time, then do it. Especially in your Kundalini awakening. It's not really up to you anymore. It's just not. It's crazy. I didn't know what was happening to me until my community told me what it was and how intense it can be. And it will awaken your chakras. It will clear your chakras. It'll block it'll clear the blockages from your chakras and your body. That's what those extreme jolts are all about. I get those still sometimes. And holy crap, a lot of times it's when I'm falling asleep, and all of a sudden I'll feel this painful jolt throughout my body, and I'm like, oh, it hurts. It does. It hurts. I'm not gonna lie. There were times that I woke up shaking. Just that wasn't. It wasn't completely involuntary. It just happened. That's all it is. Look up Kundalini energy. Okay, just look into it. We'll talk more about it. Hopefully, I can get one of my friends on TikTok who really talks about Kundalini awakening. I hope to get him at some point on one of my podcasts. I would love to do that, because he is a very helpful source. He really is, because he was able to help me see through a lot of my own bullshit. Don't get defensive over things. Okay, don't get defensive. Don't get so defensive over things. And if you are getting defensive, or if you're getting jealous or things of that nature, I'm going to tell you right now, jealousy is one of the most misinterpreted feelings that you'll ever experience. Because what jealousy is telling you is it's alerting you that you're lacking something that you're seeing in somebody else. And it's trying to call you into finding it for yourself. It's really not just a negative emotion. I'm talking about jealousy of, when you see somebody that has the cool car, if you see someone that has the great house, if you see somebody that has, self confidence, if they're vibrating at a high frequency and you're jealous of them for no reason, you start getting defensive. It's misinterpreted. It's misunderstood. That's not what it's trying to tell you. It's not telling you to get defensive. It's not telling you to attack the other person that has what you don't. What it's telling you is look at it and see how you can embody that version of yourself that actually has it. Okay? That's what it's telling you. It's not saying to get defensive and to project your insecurity onto the other person. That's not what it is. What it's telling you is, hey, you are capable of this too. Ask yourself, it's a chance for you to do some diving into your emotional state, into your heart space, and find out whatever it is. Find out what energy is holding you back from achieving that, because anybody can achieve whatever it is. Okay, whatever it is that you think is unattainable to you, it's not. You can be that confident. You can be that worthy of whatever it is. You can. The only person that's stopping you is you. You can experience that. There's nothing wrong with feeling jealousy. There's nothing wrong with that, but you need to look at it. You need to look at it. Why is it making you jealous that this person has the cool car, or this person has the nice house, or this person has the best family in the world? Who says that you can't have that? I'm going to tell you right now, it's only you that's telling you that. It's your ego that's getting in the way. It's you that's telling yourself that. You can attain it. You can attain success. It's plausible. But don't say that you can't. Because that, my friend, that is giving up before you even started. That is the one thing that is holding you back. We can be our own worst enemy. Sometimes that happens. If I'm not careful, or if I'm not doing enough reflection, hey, I end up finding out about it later, within a couple of days or a few weeks or a few months, however long it takes for me to finally reach that frequency and that vibration to understand that I'm capable of it too. That's what it is. That's what it is. You can be that confident. You don't know what you're capable of, so don't be jealous over what you perceive that somebody else has that you don't. You're very capable of having that too, but you got to put in the work. You got to put in the work. You have to put in the work to achieve that. You have to. I'm still learning things about myself. Because I have to put in the work. The reflection, the self-reflection, look at it for a minute. Be one with the emotion. Find out what it is that's making you scared. Find out what it is that's making you jealous and angry and envious. What is it? What is it that that person has that you can't achieve yourself? What is it? So there's a lot that you're possible of, that you're very capable of, but you have to find yourself. You have to find it yourself. And there's no experience like it when you find it for yourself. Nothing else compares to it. Nothing else takes away that hard work, because you earned whatever title you get. You earned whatever place in the world you get. Even if you feel like you don't have a special place in the world, think of how much of a lack mindset and how much dedication of believing that you put upon yourself. You manifest that for yourself, is what I'm saying. You manifest it. Your thoughts, believe it or not, come up to the surface by the way that you behave and how you talk and everything like that. Your thoughts are a huge, huge thing. Your thoughts matter a great deal. You may think they don't, but they do. They matter a great deal. Don't get defensive or upset, or don't get hurt when somebody sees you. You don't even know this person. They don't know you either, but they see you and they run the other way. Don't get offended by that. It's actually a compliment, because that means that you're not where they are in life. That means you're not there. I'm not saying you're better than them. I'm not saying that. And they're not better than you. Nobody's better than anybody. I'm not better than anybody. I don't believe in that. I don't think that way. But I know a lot of people in life that do. Don't shrink yourself. Be who you are meant to be. Give me a sec, guys. Hang on. Sorry, I had to get a drink of water. I was feeling very, very dry there. But anyway, you can attain the version of you that you want. That gets what they earn. through hard work, dedication, a lot of shadow work, a lot of patience, looking at yourself, putting yourself in check, getting your ego under control, getting yourself under control. It's a lot of work, especially when you weren't taught to be self-confident, especially when you're not taught um to not be jealous or to not feel so insecure or whatever the case is. We we can fall into bad habits and we can fall into good habits too. Takes a little more strength, but it is attainable. But you have to believe that. I can't make you. I can't force it. You have to believe it. It's up to you. Again, just like on the Matrix, Morpheus takes Neo to see the Oracle and says, I can only show you the door. You have to be the one that walks through it. I can only show you what I know. But you gotta be the one to see it for yourself. Everybody's experience is going to be different. So I guess that's all I have to say. I appreciate everybody for giving me the time to talk. Um, again, have any questions, drop it in the comment section. Anybody wants to do a podcast with me, let me know. We can work something out. We'll figure it out. But I believe I have said all I needed to say. And I'm going to close this session. Thank everybody. I thank you guys for your time. And I'm wishing everybody the absolute best. Stay safe out there.